We're back here for NRG and Misfits, about to battle it out on a new version of Cbble, and it's not that new. It's not that different, but it's an update. It's new. It's kind of what it is, right? You can't say much more.
It's kind of like a repackaged. Well, it's like when you've received a Christmas gift from your grandma that you're not happy about, so you repackage it and give it to someone else for next Christmas. Man? No, I've never done that. No, but I've seen. I learned from TV shows. Okay, American TV shows. Yeah. So I'm getting all of this from you guys. Okay. No, but in any case, like it's not really a whole big change. Like not a big change. I don't think it's going to have the biggest impact. It's not like this all of a sudden makes A side just impenetrable.
They didn't add a second drop room, so I guess we're still okay.
No drop room, no laser beams, like no entrapment kind of room where you can't get out, and you have to be Catherine Zeta-Jones to kind of sneak your way through everything. But it is what it is. At least they're looking into the maps, and it's not like there's no secret that Cbble is one of the more stagnant maps that we have in the map pool right now. So I guess just the fact that they're keeping tabs on it is good.
Well, more so than that, with Misfits and NRG, both teams needing to kind of prove something now, at least for the Misfits side. Yeah, NRG with that small roster change. They didn't necessarily add 2 Frenchmen, and then kind of let's see what happens. We're still looking at NRG with a little man that needs to show here.
Yeah, no, definitely do. And I think it's going to be a big task for them as well going into a map like Cbble. Cbble hasn't necessarily been one of the strong suits for NRG throughout this Pro League. They've been doing really well for themselves on other maps, Inferno being one of them. But Cbble has been one of the more lacking ones, I would say, in NRG's map pool. So this is a good time to showcase whether or not they've actually, if communication necessarily was an issue for them earlier on, and having Littleman there, if he's able to kind of fill that gap for them, that could play a big part on their CT sides and so on. Should be really cool to see. And honestly, since we didn't get to see it on Inferno, I'm kind of hoping that we get to see that odd battle between Peter and Shazam coming into fruition this time around. I think it's a bigger likelihood of that happening this time around.
Well, I'm actually getting some news that we're not going to have a Stromberg Strategies. It appears that he's lost.
He's taking an early day.
Today. But it is his day. This is April 20th. This is the Bears Day. Mark your calendars. Tell your friends. Tweet about it. Start a hashtag. Do the whole 9. But we won't be having Stromberg Strategies right now, unfortunately. I don't have any earthly idea where he is. But we are going to bring in the commentators. I'm going to get right with you. All right. But we're going to bring in the commentators real quick here. Guys, is this a map where both teams can feel a little more comfortable in terms of, even with these new lineups, they're going to feel more comfortable in this map?
I just want to know why you're re-gifting your grandma's gifts. How cold-hearted, terrible of a person are you?
I didn't do that. I've seen it on American TV shows.
No, that's impossible.
Nobody re-gifts their grandma's gifts, no matter what it is. It's your grandma, man.
No, like mom or something I can understand.
Haven't done it, man. I'm just saying, I get these ideas from watching, your shows.
Like, my mom re-gifts everything. My mom literally gets gifts from her friends and gives it to her other circle of friends without even opening it or anything. Just changes the name on the card. Yes. Just keeps the packaging. And she has them in her car. And then, like, if she needs a gift, she just,
Hey, that's actually not a bad play, especially in the trunk of the car.
Smart.
All kind of stuff. And look, hey, I know this is all great and stuff. There will be a company Christmas party, I'm sure. But right now, we've got Misfits and NRG on Cbble.
All right. Thank you very much, Stunny. Yep, the map is already going live here, so we're going to jump directly into it now. NRG taking on the Misfits, and we'll get to see the second map played out here. NRG destroying Misfits in the second half of our last map. Now we go into Cbble, where hopefully things will be of a bit more even ground for these teams. And we can see Misfits battle back to try and take this 1-1 for the night. If not, NRG is also going to be continuing on the warpath to remain within the top 6 here and try to earn their playoff spot. Now, Fugly getting aggressive outside early on. What they may not notice is this double stack of players to their left. Hello, there they are, and Fugly goes down first, along with Peter directly afterwards. Yeah, French duo, the French stack as well, apparently. As we can see, Shazam trading back the first, or picking up an additional kill here too. And Almanac just continuing forward as well, taking down Daps. Now it's just going to be Little Man trying to hold back over on the B bomb site as he creeps his way over. And basically going to be trying to find as many kills as possible, but doesn't get any at all. So it's a completely clean pistol to start off on this map for the Misfits, as they'll go 1-0 at the beginning.
Yeah, Misfits starting out on a much-needed pistol after what we saw from them on Inferno. We'll see if this T-side can, their T-side wasn't too bad the last time on Inferno, but I don't know, Cbble's pretty finicky. you know, like when you look into the map, you think it's going to be very T-sided, like inherently, but then a lot of teams just can really leverage like that B plat control and things like that into round wins really well. We see NRG very conservatively bought here. Breeze on the Deeg, a couple CZs, 2 P2 or 2 USPs as well. Just a full B stack though.
Yeah, and for Misfits now, they are going to continue to proceed forward outside over towards B. We do have the full stack of NRG waiting, so they are going to spring the trap here. And for NRG hopefuls out there, now is going to be their chance to upset. It's fortunate they didn't buy into armor or anything behind their investments, so they're just going to have those upgraded pistols, but 2 for 1 to start now. Yeah, Misfits do end up shutting it down pretty handily. 1 or 2 kills at the beginning there, but for the most part, it is cleaned up pretty fast by the Misfits to claim a second round.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough economy to deal with if you're NRG. Going into that 4th round, 5th round, you're probably going to have to win at least 2 rounds in a row in order to break their economy, as long as they, you know, don't lose too many bodies here.
Yeah, NRG themselves are just going to end up in a another situation where they have minimal investment. CZs and P250s are all that they do. Bring in Peter and Breeze, just saving up entirely, sticking with their own defaults. And Misfits just taking it nice and slow, sending a few players over here to the edge of Broken Wall, along with the drop area. They want to systematically clear it out just to be safe and make sure they don't get tripped up by anything NRG would throw at them in this round. A 4-1 split, so there is going to be another heavy stack of players from NRG waiting out on the bomb site. But even so, with the guns they have, I wouldn't expect anything too crazy. This sort of around here. Sean is going to start us off by moving into the transition room and then thusly out onto the site. And start off the overall hit for his team this round. And moving towards it, Breeze was spotted with Flowerbot. Okay, little match hopping right up apparently. Sick with a quick trade on the Breeze though, and it's pretty much like the last round where NRG start up with 1 kill, but for the most part that seems like it's all they're going to get. Devo even hopping up onto the platform there, getting him 1 more kill. He just kind of had to run now. He's at 9 HP, but Peter just gets mind gamed a little bit there as Devo just hides into a corner. Peter runs right past him.
Yeah, and I mean, they have a ton of money. So it should be multiple rounds in a row that NRG is going to have to win in order to break that economy. PTR gets the op, but only 2 kills so far this game. I mean, even on that pistol round, to upgrade to head armor, they just most of them probably just had to spend 350. You know, so.
So now going into the first gun round, we are going to see the Misfits proceed up into another, what more than likely, if it stays this way, will become just a default B play. NRG, even the players they send over towards A are pretty close to the door and can rotate over pretty quickly. So if Misfits do try to kind of force the issue onto this site, then they are going to be going up against a lot of CTs, and they may just decide to not want to do that. Smokes early on, of course, will delay the action over right past the broken wall there, over top the big arch. It's going to hold them back, but now Misfits need to start to move in on their own regard here. Molotovs will go in to flush out the drop room and send the CTs outside so that they can safely drop in and take control for themselves. But afterwards, no one's really going to follow through with it. In fact, they pull all pressure away from the platform. Double stack inside of drop, though. And that is where Little Man and Breeze will work together to take out Devoduvic right at the start. No more pressure is going to come in from drop. So we can probably actually start to see not only Peter more heavily commit deeper into A, but also maybe 1 or 2 more players start to rotate in the other direction here. We can already see that with Dap. Smokes and one else going to start to come out onto the site, which means the rest of the B players will rotate in kind. Molly is going to go back there, but I think it blows up in the air, so it actually won't hit the ground. And we'll have to use a second one here. Sick, though, just takes down Peter so quickly and then follows it up with Daps as well. So some good stuff from him. And now Ominix going to continue forward. Spotted those 2 players retreating. They'll know that they have this under control. And some of the others can start to move out to hunt down those that went outside the site to save.
Yeah, good decision by NRG to save here. This is not a retake you want to have like any part of. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be successful. It's much more beneficial to your team to just save these 3 guns, maybe get a couple umps on the other guys, and, you know, play for the next round. And you could still just, like, have them both have umps and then not invest fully with the Low Man, Fugly, and Breeze, and then buy the next round, even if you lose this one. So, trying to get back into it, you know, economically.
Right now, it is Misfits controlling the situation here as they do push forward, and Sick leading the charge for his team. Him and Devoduvic both with 5 kills in the first 4 rounds. And overall, not a whole lot of battling back being done by NRG, but just coming off the first garner and not really trying to resist it in their first couple of anti-ecos. They have built up the losing bonus and now are going to be able to buy back into this one a little bit. They still really just only have the saved guns though. No one else decides to go past that. So Daps gets himself armor and a CZ tossed over to him, and Peter just ends up with a P250 here. Those 3 rifles will have to have massive impact if they want to have hope of upsetting in this round. Otherwise, Misfits will continue to push forward up to 5. And again, the same pretty much basic opener here from the Misfits. Players into the B halls with a couple more posting up outside. They'll hold those good positions. NRG changed up their dynamic quite a bit this round, however. They actually sent quite a few players over into the mid-connector and around this new suicide area in A, trying to hold it off there. So they're going to put a lot of defenses there this time and only have 2 defending B. Misfits, though, reading into this actually really well, where previously they were able to push into A pretty casually and really only relying on Sick to hit those entries for them, which he did, and it just opened up the site. Now they're going to try to do the same thing over here towards B, where they've only got Little Man, I think, Breeze to defend it. Little Man, though, holding first off and drop. He's going to get extra assistance over here from Daps, who just dinks Devaduvik. That'll send him flying in the other direction. Sick, at the very least, is able to clear out Breeze, and then Almanac and Sick again, following it up with 2 more nice kills. Brings the situation back under the control of of Misfits. It's flanked for Peter. Finishes the kill into Devaduvik, re-evens it into a 2v2, and now there's 2 rifles in the hands of both the remaining members of NRG. They're expecting Peter to work on a flank, so Sick is taking up a position inside of the cubby, when in all reality, it is going to come from drop. Thankfully, it's a quick adjustment from Sick to be able to get in the way. That problem is, though, is that Fugly gets the first kill. Now it's just Shazam on the outside. He even misses the first shot. Recorrects the issue as he goes for the repeat, though, and takes down Fugly. And Peter does not have a whole lot of time left. He needs to get in here and defuse that bomb. Full 10-second defuse as well. Picked up a kit, but... oh, Shazam? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! He snuck it in and then killed him with a pistol afterwards. So Peter just goes right for the smoke defuse and steals the round out of the hands of Misfits.
How did that not hit him? It looked like he was right on him.
It was swiping too high, I think. I don't know if he knew he was crouching or not. I think it was slightly too high. It was hard to tell from within the smoke, though.
Wow.
Well, that's one way to get yourself on the board.
Yeah.
As NRG will finally find themselves starting off here, and it was on a round 2, or for the most part, they were really buying into too much. So now they are able to reinvest into this next round with no problem whatsoever. All M4 is the op for Peter. Everybody's got kits and utility. Obviously, Misfits still haven't been broken down just yet, but that could be something in the future for them if they continue to lose out rounds in these close situations. So needing to find their footing quickly here before NRG does round another comeback and moves in to take quick control of the lead here. But a big stack from Misfits again over here towards the B bomb site. You're more than likely going to be looking at another pretty straightforward push out onto the site from them. Whereas NRG has gone back into their usual play style as well. 3-2 split. Fugly going to be playing closer contact at the broken wall, with the other 2 focusing on the statue and drop room respectively. Just a minute left remaining here for Misfits. And actually, nice pre-fire goes over to catch Sick out, knocking off just about half of his HP as they were getting ready to deploy smokes and molotovs down onto the site. Fugly catching an easy first kill, and a second one. Continues to go out aggressively, but that is what is going to lead to his own death. Almanac able to trade into 1 kill in drop room, but then Little Man peeking in to battle it back. NRG still controlling most of this site as well. They were able to creep back up. They're going to try to go for the plant. Little Man does give himself away in the process, and Shazam was able to use that to get a kill, and a second one through the chicken coop in its entirety and take down Breeze. Nice shots from Shazam, but he's got 1 more kill to go against Daps, who's coming out of drop right now, but he looks away at the wrong moment. That'll give it over to Daps and give NRG their second round.
Yeah, just Shazam just banking on the fact that he's flanking. Not a bad read. You'd figure if he kills that player coop, maybe Daps comes more quickly and tries to fight him, but in the end, was wrong on his read, and now Misfits gets probably one more opportunity to reset their economy before they will have to save, or at the very least take that armor.
So the last fight here for Misfits now is they'll end up with the full investment here. But NRG finding their stride and getting back into it. They're now going to be battling in much closer areas of the map too. We can see that. An attempt from Fugly to get himself up on top of the platform. He's going to be fighting here for a lot of the round. And also we got players pushed in towards long A and right outside of the new mid, right outside of mid.
That's kind of why I don't like the way NRG purchases though, because even though Misfits isn't the greatest team, they get 3 opportunities, 3 gun rounds in a row because they don't really put pressure on them economically speaking, you know? They give them 3 chances to reset NRG's economy.
Yeah, they let them.
And when you play against teams like SK or Virtus Pro or Cloud9 or Liquid or whatever, you know, like these Tier 1, Tier 2 teams, they're usually going to capitalize if you give them 3 chances like that, right? They only have to win 1 round to win like 5 rounds, essentially. Or a little less, but like 4, you know?
Yeah. Well, now they do start to move back out. Peter spots it, dodges an op shot as well. It didn't miss his player that got up real close to him, though. It's Sean that sneaks the kill against Peter. Now Daps trying to respond. So messy on the UMP that was used so much ammo. Only 7 bullets left, and he's not going to get to use any of them. Almanek knocks him right out of the park. And now we can see Little Man still up on the ramp. He's going to have to try to surprise, but just 1 kill. It's definitely not what he was hoping for here. And Shazam lines up the final frag as well. Ends up with a nice 3K on the round. That's 2 in a row where he's actually gotten a 3K here.
And they had so many players there. Figured they would capitalize off that opportunity. But PTR not realizing they were all the way up the ramp. That first kill really happened.
So that restores the balance here in the favor of Misfits now. As you can see, NRG, they do decide to force up here a little bit. Just going for basically as much as they can, as they never really stabilize their economy, even with those 2 rounds. So everybody except for Peter buys out.
And then this round, I don't think you should force action.
Because they already have money.
Exactly, because now you have to win 2 rounds in a row, right, to break Misfits' money. And it's like, you know, you give them another opportunity again, even if you win this round, which you're really not favored to win, when if you save this round, I think you would have been able to buy the next round pretty decently, if I think right. And another issue that they have is that PTR will always just like save for the op no matter what. So it's really hard to like fully invest in rounds like this.
So now we're going to end up seeing Misfits just try to funnel through the mid-connector and up onto A, which they can do pretty freely. Daps is waiting way over here at A-long. He's still trying to play around with Suicide there, and obviously he's probably going to end up staying on A-long for the most part here as his teammates have to be able to rotate all the way over from the B-bomb site. It's not even like they can really do much, unfortunately. Misfits are going to walk in, they'll plant the bomb, set themselves up, and it's not even looking like NRG is going to contest. They're all just going to, I think, fall back into the B-halls and try to set up to get exit kills, but that'll be it.
Yeah, they should just save. They're not going to retake this, maybe get some exits. Some kills to go.
Yeah, so a walk-on round for Misfits, and they're going to end up restoring the lead they had before here, going up 6-2 now. NRG, obviously, if they can save a few of these guns, then it's going to help them out a little bit in trying to restore their economy in the long run here as they head into the next gun round, but still. We can see Peter getting close up here. He's going to try to move in for intel. Dinked Shazam, but good adjustment from Shazam to flick onto that one, though. He keeps himself alive and moving. And that's going to be the only kill in that entire round, actually.
That was a 6-shot.
And still not even looking like there's enough cash to buy up for NRG this time. A lot of the players that, you know, had gone for the upgraded pistols just not even going to be able to afford the rifles now to support their armor buys. So they've got to save again here and just wait 1 more round before they can really go into it. And try to fight back against Misfits, who seem to be hitting a much better stride on the T side this time. Building up that money early on, and specifically off of the fact that NRG choose not to contest it, it leaves them in a really good spot early on. Shazam just hitting a nice shot on Breeze. Already has him down at 1 HP. And unfortunate that he survives a 1, but I'm sure Breeze isn't complaining about it. Now Sean doesn't even care about the molly, either just hopping right in there. Flashbang comes in a little bit late, but it's still able to give him the kill onto Little Man regardless, so now the rest of the team can follow through out onto the B-bomb site. They've spotted Breeze hiding in that corner. He's going to be a little bit difficult for Sean to hit the shot there, as that tends to be a tricky angle, but he does indeed follow through with it. Peter picks up the first kill for the CT side. Looked like it may end up being the only kills again. Misfits clearing out of sight, and there is no room for the 2 remaining players on NRG to do anything about it besides just post up for exits.
Yeah, and so far it's just like, it's almost like NRG just hasn't even had a chance this game, really.
Yeah.
You know? They won that 1 round where he 10-second defused, BTR did, but it's just, I don't know. Just doesn't seem like they've had much of an opportunity because of the way the economy's worked out. They are going to try to get a couple exits here with Daps and Fugly. They're pretty aggressively set up. Almanek just clearing the T-spawn. Looks like he's going to dodge him, but Shazam might die here.
He's going to get caught making the shot out, so Fugly, not only just Fugly can push him either, he's able to recover against Fugly at the very least, but Daps, he can still try to push back in and kill him, although he's got way more support now.
Yeah, why peek on? Might as well just keep the ump in that case.
Well, pause call seems to have come out from NRG, so they are going to take a moment here.
Look at that drive-by.
NRG's going to take a moment here to figure out how they can really piece back together this CT side. It's been very, very messy to say the least, picking up 2 rounds, but they were very scrappy 2 rounds, and then they were immediately put back onto Ecos after that, and now we end up in the situation where we're at here. Misfits just controlling almost every situation, controlling the economy of NRG, building up their own so early on that NRG really can't do anything about it, and it has just left them in a really crap position where there's not a whole lot of room for them to get back into this, even as we head into these last few rounds in the half. They're going to have to come out with a massive streak here if they want to still try and take a lead coming out here. Otherwise, it's might be looking at just like a flip scoreline of what we had back on Inferno with Misfits kind of dominating somewhere between like 10 to 13 rounds.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't have that much faith in this Misfits squad right now. But yeah, they do have a commanding lead. You know, NRG has just been like wrong on all their reads when it comes to, you know, where they're stacking and things of that nature as well. But they do get pretty much a fully bought round here. I mean, they have 2 umps, 2 M4s, and an op. I think that's more than fine. I actually like this buy a lot.
Nice shot from Peter, though. Just goes into mid-connector nice and early. Destroys Sean and now backs up. If anybody wants to challenge him, they can swing on in the connector, but otherwise, it's under the control. And he hits another shot. This one, I think, through the door as well. Takes down Sick, and then Daps holds A long. He just got the bomb down. All right, this is the energy from the last map that we needed to see. Suddenly coming back into it. Misfits not looking too good as Shazam and Almanac are going to have to try to clutch 2v5. Peter says no to that, though, as he's back up through Suicide, now supporting Daps. He's picked up a 3rd. Good trade. Finally seeing Shazam battle it back, but now he's down to 15 HP. Molly going to be reapplied. There's not a whole lot of room for him to try and do anything here. If he can get the guys from NRG to peek him and get them like greedily moving out so that he can punish a few more, then of course that'll be great. But overall, the round itself is almost for sure going to go into NRG's hands. Shazam, oh my god, gets that no-scope. He tries to go for one more, but finally, Fugly does put him down, and NRG went out the round.
Yeah, it does good economic damage, though. Because of those 2 extra kills that he got with, you know, about 10 HP, I believe if they win this round, Misfits, or, yeah, NRG is going to be on another save.
They're already down to like another ump as well, and it ends up on a donated rifle after it, so both the operators hitting their strides in that last round. Shazam almost bringing it back. Shazam's arguably, though, it ends up being more important for the long run of things, but a nice spray early on as Peter attempts to pull off the same feat again. And just like that, he's going to be down at 7 HP for the rest of this round. And Misfits have not had to do anything else besides that just yet. Just posted up outside, waiting to see if anyone else is going to try to test their luck against an aggressive or against a more passively held Misfits. If they do, well, they'll be ready for them. And Misfits would be able to punish that quite handily, as all 5 are now stacked up, probably going to get ready to push into the mid-connector in a moment. And in they will go, moving in to take that control. You've got Fugly and Daps waiting outside here, just below that little boost-up position. Not going to be going for the boost itself, but wrapping in here. Sick, looking for the first kill. Daps able to hold with the UMP up close. Almanac trading onto a kill onto Fugly, and Shazam swinging in. Daps actually does get one more kill, but Almanac and Shazam finding all this pressure right now, bringing it down to just Breezy and Peter. And Peter, mind you, was brought down very, very low from earlier on. Peter comes in on a flank, but it may be a little bit too late. If he had been able to save Breeze a moment earlier, this definitely would have been something workable. The problem is now they should be able to pay attention to this lurk over here, and Sean's going to be able to very casually shut it down for the Misfits. 8-3, and just like that, NRG back into eco territory again, and they've lost their losing bonus.
And Breeze is 1-8.
Yeah.
So not getting anything done on the CT side of Cbble. Misfits winning another very important round. Puts NRG on a force buy now, so they're tired of, you know, just playing every round, saving for these fully bought rounds. They decided to buy 2 umps, a Moss, a couple pistols, but this isn't something that they're comfortable doing. So we'll see how much experience they have with this, see how, you know, well thought out in how they play out this round. Right now, they just have 2 in the A halls of PTR and DAPS, and then 3 towards B with 2 players around, you know, square. 1 outside a drop. And Fugly will probably just fight whatever makes contact first. So if they're coming out upper B, he'll probably try to help that. But if they get on drop, it wouldn't surprise me if he moves over to drop with low man and just kind of challenges. And hopefully they can win the round in that fashion.
But Misfits themselves, no strangers to slow playing on the T side here, are going to continue to run the timer down before they do end up making that decision, as they're all stacked up right now. Not only drop, but the lead up obviously over here towards the platform itself. The bomb, however, is backing away from the B halls and out towards an A play. So as smokes go into suicide, Sean currently carrying the bomb. It is looking like that they are going to send their early pressure inside of here while still trying to throw a fake over towards B. That's all going to be done from Shazam. However, Peter just kind of wildly pushing up, does spot the pressure at A-Long. Sean catching Little Man. Trade from Daps, of course, that sends the bomb onto the ground, and he even does good damage to Devo Duvek, but still, Devo Duvek getting the kill, combined with the fact that they just picked up 2 other kills for free here. Breeze, nicely done, swinging out. It's got another player isolated to the corner, so just like that, they're battling back into it. Shazam missing a shot. They know there's one back over here at the ramp, and they're going to be able to play very close to him. Missing another one, he'll be overwhelmed. There's only 6 seconds remaining, so these last 2 CTs can just hightail it the hell out of here, and Almanac can't do anything about it. NRG upset in a big fashion on this round, and now they'll bring it up 4-8.
Just get the bomb trapped at middle. Breeze makes a huge play. Almanac's already in the A site, and then Shazam's coming late. He misses a really critical op shot on somebody in the back, and that's what really lost the round, though. Like, Breeze made a good play there, but Shazam came from middle, shot at somebody, like, and just whiffed in his back. And from there, you know, they just double push him, run away. 5 seconds left or whatever, just hide.
Even so now, NRG, as we take a look at what they buy into this round, it isn't going to be all that great. We've got 3 SMGs. One of them's a P90 sitting on Fugly. Only 1 and 4, and the op goes back onto Peter. So Misfits still have the overall advantage here to play with, but NRG finally seem to be reading things a little bit better here. As all of the smokes and mollies go in, this is a very straightforward play from the Misfits as they smoke off the entire site and try to take control, but there's a lot of resistance to be found. Sean hits a good stride to start us off, though, and eliminating Breeze right from the get-go of things. And Sick also trying to continue forward, too. There is still Chicken Coop presence to deal with Peter. He's been completely smoked off. He wants to keep himself quiet before he can pop back into this one there. Hits the shot, but then a moment later traded out by Shazam. As he does hit Sean a little bit further back. Little Man as well. Nice read into that sound. Just instantly locks in onto Devo Duvek. Unfortunately, the op presence from Misfits just far too strong there. Sick and Shazam hit up the last 2 final kills and reclaim the round once again and just reset the losing bonus for, I think, a 3rd or 4th time now on NRG.
Yeah, so NRG again going to be down to pistols, and Shazam makes up for that last round by getting a nice 3K here. So Misfits having a great T side. You expect them to win this, you know, probably 11-4. That's what you expect right now. But then again, CT side on Cbble could be really, really tough.
Yeah, NRG looks like they just forced into it this time. So again, just working with upgraded pistols. Don't even have a whole lot of utility to play with either. And they're going to try to go in here aggressively. Stacking up near the mid-connector and suicide steps. They've done this multiple times, though, and it's almost never really worked out for them, as they're all going to be positioned back over here towards the B halls. When you look at the Misfit stack, Almanac just firing off on his own regard out here in the open. But all that'll do is prompt an early smoke from NRG that could have been later used on the other site. As now, we're going to be able to see the Misfits start their push, but they do end up bringing it back to A, actually. Pulling players outside of the B halls and over into the open again. But smoke's still in the way. It doesn't seem to matter for Sick, though, over on B, as he's continuing with the plan to kind of sell a fake in that direction, but it's not making anyone from the NRG camp move outside of these suicide and mid-connector areas. They're both sitting back, patiently waiting this out. Sick continuing to lurk, continuing to pick up kills. So yeah, Misfits just swing back over here towards B now. They're going to be able to walk into an easy plant. Almanac in the meantime sneaking through A-Long, executing them. So 10th round going to be going up for Misfits here. And Almanac just continuing to execute here as he checks every which way. Little man, maybe gonna find him. Nope. Almanac holds strong, kills all 3 of those guys that were hiding out over towards mid.
Stat pad round.
Yeah, pretty much. So pretty easy stuff there for Misfits again. Just being able to essentially outmaneuver NRG and finding some really good angles, especially Sick over there just clearing out the B site on his own. So it goes 10-4 as we go into the last round of the half, and NRG pretty much going to have an identical buy to what they had in the last round, just with a little bit more utility. So let's take a look and see what the Misfits are going to try for this time. It is looking like just direct playing out onto the platform here. Nobody even splitting towards drop. Smoke obviously gets in the way. It'll waste about 20 seconds here, 20 or 30 seconds before Misfits do decide to follow through with their own take. But they're also getting a bit more aggressive over here on the NRG camp. They push their players all the way out to the edge of A long. Now, though, I don't think...
But they can't really push through because it's the P250 and a CZ. Like, if anybody's watching it, they just kill you so easily. So, see, that's why he doesn't move out there. He knows if an AK is watching the flank, he's just dead.
So he can't push for that, and just like that, they all have to fall back over to the B site now to watch out for that as well. Debo still trying to actually make some traction going, and NRG read the fact that there is no one out there. They just take a gamble on it, so they move everybody over into the B bomb site. Now, there's going to be a lot more clearing to do before they have this under their control. They have taken down the Broken Wall player, and they're continuing to knock them out one by one. So far, only Little Man and now Breeze have been able to trade out kills. Another tag, though, goes over onto Sean, bringing him down to 6 HP. Breeze escaping with another pickup. This time it's onto Devo Dubek, but Sean's still fragging out. And with Almanac picking up this last kill, Misfits do indeed close out, bringing it up to 11. They're the ones this time who end up with a dominating halftime score, and we'll have to see if they can keep it consistent in the second half, guys. Stick with us for our final half of the night in just a few minutes right here at the ESL Pro League.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Well, for the last time this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the ESL Pro League. NRG taking on the Misfits. While our first map went very dominantly in its first half into the favor of NRG, this time the tables have turned, and it is Misfits that control the situation with an 11-4 half coming off of their T side on Cobblestone. Now NRG gets to step up to the plate and try to make an effort for a comeback here.
Yeah, one of the issues is, I mean, they won that one round where PTR diffused that smoke, right? But on pretty much all the force buy rounds, you know, they didn't really have like a plan to win those. They didn't know how to make those adjustments when they had the umps and things like that. And that's because, I mean, that's not the way they practice, right? They practice by always making sure you got like fully bought rounds, ops, Molotovs, like M4s, everything, right? And then when it comes down to those rounds, a lot of the time you don't really know how to win those. And those are the rounds that are like, those are the most important rounds, you know, is knowing how to win these, you know, weird buys where you just have like a couple umps, you know, a scout, a deagle, and like, you know, one M4 or whatever, and knowing how to set everybody up for success. And I mean, those really are, in my opinion, like the most important rounds in CS.
Yeah. Well, as we can see here, it has stats have left Shazam kind of leading the charge here so far on this map with a 20 and 5 KD and 130 ADR. Almanac not too far behind him at 107.3. Devo Dubek this time, unfortunately, lagging a little bit more behind his other French teammate down at 70, but still overall the team performing much better. And the huge drop-off has come from...
Shazam 20 and 5.
Yeah. The huge drop-off, though, this time has come from the NRG side, and that's Breeze, who was almost single-handedly pushing NRG through to a victory. Last map is just...
$50.
non-existent, it seems like, in this map here, and we really only saw him come to life in those last few rounds, so... Struggling here a little bit on Cobblestone. If he can obviously get back into gear now in the second half on T side, then that'll be looking a little bit better, but it's still a huge deficit to come back from. They need to hit the ground running and make sure that not only do they win out this pistol in the following 2 rounds, but the first, 2 or 3 gun rounds here as well, if they really want to have a chance to get back in. But it's not completely desperate. There's still definitely a chance for them to swing the comeback, considering the current scoreline at 4-11. 12-3 is where things do get a bit more desperate, but let's see now as we are going live on 3, folks. Let's take a look and see what NRG has to offer us on their T side, if it's going to be anything of significance or if Misfits will continue to dominate on the defense now and be able to get a quick closeout to take this 1-1 for the night and split both of our sets in that respect as well. Trying to stop NRG from pushing forward into a playoff spot for this season and keeping the race a little bit closer, if that should be the case. But into it we will go. Let's take a look now what NRG are going to be doing for their pistol round. Sending quite a few players into the V-Halls, but no follow-through. Nobody's trying to quickly push out onto the site. Actually, everybody's walking back over here outside to mid, more than likely. And then they're all going to be stacking there, probably trying to push back into the site.
Yeah, so it'll be 4 mid, 1 long A late, I believe. Who's going to be Daps?
Amanek spots it. Not going to hit many shots, though, but the good news is he does play it forward, so he's going to be able to see like all 4 of these players and call for reinforcements pretty quickly off of this one. Sean, though, cut off by a smoke, can't catch much. Breezy just dominates, too, right at the beginning of it. Sick trading out onto 1, but Breeze now trading out his own gun to try to look for a few more pickups. It's Sean with 1 additional frag here, and the second is he actually baits Breeze into peeking him there, so he's going to be able to take him down. Now just 2 remaining. Daps and Little Man trying to clutch out 2v3 here as the Misfits push back in. Shazam up close and personal against Daps, but he holds on and now pushes the back even further. They've got them split up here, and Sean now left as the last one alive in it. 1v2 situation here. Hits the headshot onto the first one. Moving back up, looking for one more, but runs out of ammo. Only 6 bullets left, and time beating low for that defuse. He needs to go for this kill right now. Missing these jumps is certainly not helping. He has Little Man so low, but he just can't get this kill quickly enough. He gets it, but it's not going to matter. The bomb's going to blow up. NRG will get their 5th round, and they will claim victory here on the pistol.
Yeah, that was a really sloppy 1v1. But at the end of the day, I mean, Sean did get those 4 kills. I thought they should have won that round when Breeze went down. In the 3v3, I favored NRG a lot. But then Breeze over peaks with that P2K. I think if he plays that a little bit more standard, he wins that easy. But right there, Daps with those 2 frags on that APC on that site, I thought when they knew where both of them when they spotted Daps, thought Misfits was going to win that, but they just couldn't really land many shots that pistol round.
So now for NRG, back into splitting their players up here and back to more probably slow playing, since Misfits as well also did force buy into this one. I
also think if Shazam waited for his teammate to come with him and one of them just jumped at Daps and jumped, Daps probably wouldn't headshot him, and then they win that round like pretty easily.
Unfortunately, the pistol does not end up going the way of Misfits, and now it's NRG that control the situation early on in the half anyway. Peter grabbing a first kill against Amanek back over there towards A. And over...
Pete should have died there. You see a shadow first there. That should have been a kill for Amanek.
Well, now Zebedubek is... Oh,
what a shot.
It's going to be pushing out, but just destroyed by Fugly. That opens up the other site. And actually, it's going to be a walk on to A now. Misfits are kind of hard rotated over to B, expecting it to be played into that site, but now mollied and smoked back off on both angles of the retake. There's not really going to be room for anything to be done here, so Shazam, Sick, and Sean are more likely just going to post up and B to save. And that'll be the 6th for NRG. So they get over the force buy there. They prevent themselves from being ecoed out immediately at the beginning of the half, and off of that, they will have that consistency to try to push at least up to 7 rounds. We won't really know for sure, though, if they're really getting back into this game until the gun round. The pistol, of course, the first big victory, but until we see some real big guns into the hands of the Misfits players, it's going to be tough to see if NRG really has themselves a comeback potential here. Just these last few battles as NRG does try to hunt down the remaining guns. However, it's also giving guns to Misfits, so they do need to be careful of that. Sean also now upgrading himself to an AK as he runs away and tries to escape with it. Sick, in the meanwhile, has not been found just yet. Running back up, they knock him out, and Sean as well, so that AK, while it did originally go into his hands, falls to the ground, and they will not be able to save it going into this third round.
Yeah, Sean Garrers and Shazam both have a lot of money, so I don't even know if Sean's their secondary op, though, on Misfits. Who is their secondary?
I don't... It might be Sean, though, actually, now that I think... No, it's Sick. In the last map, it was Sick. It was Sick,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sick has a pretty good op.
I think... I'm trying to remember who it was before. I remember it being someone else. But I think now that it's... Now that Relics and Twist left, it just goes over to Sick. Well, anyway, getting into it here as Misfits are going to be on the full save this run. They did go for the gamble stack over at B. And NRG is looking like they're already starting to move in. Look at this movement from Sean there. Just waltzes right up, gets that kill. Oh, and he had Taps not looking at him either. We took the moment to aim for that. He might have been able to sneak in that kill, but quick trade, just a little bit of action for Sean as he hops over one of his opponents and then leaps into a kill against another one there. So now the rest of the Ts are starting to flood out throughout the rest of the map here. It's still a little bit dangerous, though, when you look at the stack they have going into A. They're bringing the bomb in here, too, but actually I think they're going to send it back now since the A site is definitely not cleared out. They have full B control in the meantime. Peter going to end up battling out to switch over to his pistol. And Dap just holds over by the doorway here to make sure that they do maintain full B control. Yeah, Peter was basically doomed with that position up on the platform itself, but ultimately now they've just forced Misfits outside of B, and NRG should still be able to get the plant in a second here and win out the round.
Yeah, just going back and forth from B to A to B. I don't know how Sean managed to get behind him there. That was pretty that was pretty slick.
Yeah, he just got counter boosted and hopped over the right side.
Yeah. I like when some teams are doing now, they kind of smoke kind of deep, they counter boost, and then they flash through the smoke, like the smoke behind Almanac, and then they jump out to the right. I think the guys at B is pretty cool. Like right there, they smoke and they flash and then jump through it as a CT.
So no smokes going on, but Sean does get himself a bit adventurous in pushing that and finds himself a kill. Now the remaining CTs are stacking themselves over here in the hall, specifically Almanac having himself the UMP trying to find some impact here, but it only really leads to a kill against Breeze. The others manage to survive the engagement there, get themselves out. Now get prepped for the first gun round, as Misfits should have plenty of cash to buy into this one here, and it does include the op, so that's going to come right into it. In fact, not just one op, they're going to have the double ops for Misfits right from the very start of this half in the gun round.
Yeah, so because Sean had those 4 pistol round kills, he was pretty conservative in his purchases. He's able to double op up. Oh, never mind. Almanac just bought one himself. I thought Sean was going to drop one.
Yeah, it looks like it's... I don't know, maybe they're still playing with it for map to map, but it was definitely sick in the last map.
Well, maybe they didn't have Almanac. Well, yeah. Never mind. I was thinking of. I thought you were saying the last time we gassed.
No, yeah, I was talking about just the last map.
Go.
So it looks like the Misfits.
Yeah, I don't really mind. I think you can get second op done by committee.
Yeah.
You know, you just whoever wants to use it.
Well, Misfits still into a default 3-2 spread here, and Sick holding right outside. They peek into it, not really even paying attention to it. Sick again just destroys the NRG players pushing into him. Very aggressively puts the guys from NRG back into a disadvantage from the start. Shazam, though, a little bit aggressive. Peter is able to edge out that shot there, but still, the real problem is that this was really easily read here after they killed those 2 players and drop and saw pressure on the platform. Now everyone from the Misfits is here to defend this site, and there's not going to be a whole lot that they can do easily to push back out as they're completely out of utility here. They don't have another smoke to redeploy. Every attempt they make to push into the open is going to be met with battle, probably double peaks from at least 2 of the remaining Misfits players, and it's just Sick at the moment on the cusp of an ace. Up the 4s, he's taken down 2 of the 3 up on top, and he indeed closes out on the last one as well. So an ace from Sick as Misfits push on 12.
Yeah, just an absurd round by Sick. That second kill and drop was really impressive. We didn't catch the other 2, but we know how he got Breeze. But that second kill was very nice by him.
I'm with the replay of that one now, just swinging into it.
Perfect crosshair placement.
And then even later on in the round, recovering the AK, was able to go for a pretty big spray on the little man. Pick up these last 2 players as well. Nice stuff from Sick. Carries Misfits back into
what are they doing over there? That should have been an easy kill from Almanac.
apparently not so easy as he pushes out. Thankfully, he doesn't get traded out because of the push. So still finds himself in an okay position. Besides this, Daps and some of the others are going to be trying to push back in, but now Almanac waits over here long. A little bit early on the timing shot, though. Now just falls back behind the smoke. And will get himself into safe quarters and let NRG take control of mid here, as they'll try to force their way into A. Oh, all right. Oh. That's actually quite a bit of team damage going on to Peter there. Dinks him, brings him down to 64 HP because of that one. So NRG are not going to be looking in the best straits here for this round. Making a lot of noise over here as well, so definitely going to be suspicious for the Misfits. They've already got 3 waiting in the site before anything has even been given away. Just 2 waiting to defend over at B right now, and waiting for NRG to just make a move here. 45 seconds, finally, Flashbang's starting to move back out as they do go for it. Almanac hitting the first shot, and just after that, complete destruction at the hands of Misfits here. Almanac doesn't have a problem adjusting his position to take down PTR, and now Daps alone inside of drop. Nothing that he can really do significantly to change the outcome of this round, with the bomb being down way over on the A ramp. So just humping, or I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Moving out, holding for a few kills, maybe, but well, he does succeed in picking up 1 here against Shazam. Swinging out to retrieve the op. Now his mission is going to be to try and save this. Actually, he's being pressured up close, so maybe he can get 1 or 2 more. But nope, flashed out. 6 going to take him down, and Misfits get their 13th.
Yeah, and I believe that forces NRG onto, basically a save. I mean, Daps can AK armor. But Almanac with a nice hold here. Gets 2 there, peeks towards long, kills BTR. That was a really nice hold, and they had the site with 3 people there, so they had a good read that they were hitting A. Because Shazam was on the B platform, he saw nothing. Full B plat control, you're okay with leaning through guy.
Yeah, NRG having to go for a full save here, so they're going to have to let it run all the way up to 14 rounds. Definitely not expecting NRG to try and upset in this one. Misfits already have a 3-man stack with another one close to the A doors, so they can quickly rotate back in. They're fast out through Broken Wall, but 2... Actually, it's a shot that definitely should not have missed. Thankfully, though, it's not going to be a big deal, as it's already down to just 1 man left alive, and they put it into that one pretty quickly. Misfits up to 14. Really just 1 more gun round to go, and they have this map pretty much secured. It's going to happen here now from NRG as they buy into it. They will get the full buy going, but this is their last chance now.
Yeah, it is. And what do you do here? You went towards B. You lost that round on that B and drop split. You were like, all right, let's try A. You lose A. Now it looks like they're going to have 1 person outside of A. 4 towards B off the bat. Slowing it down. Checking for drop push.
Yeah, and I can imagine NRG's going to try to play this round pretty slowly just because of the what this round will mean for them.
Yeah, and look at where Almanac is. He's pushed up long A, has a lot of information. This is going to be a free kill if anybody challenges him.
But not looking like anyone will actually do that for the most part. NRG still just sitting in the B halls. I don't think he'll stick here for longer than another like 10 or 15 seconds either. That would be some really good discipline if he actually does decide to stay there, watching for the rotate.
Yeah, and NRG barely has any nades. I mean, you have 3 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and a Molotov. So you have to be pretty like precise with how you do this take, and any like counter Molotov or anything like that is going to make it really difficult. So they take drop control. Sean waiting outside that smoke, and look at where the push is. Almanac's literally in T-spawn.
Checking everything out for his himself there, and he's going to be able to push behind these guys and knock them out. As they do start to move back in. Almanac's still like playing around back there, though. I'm curious as to where he's actually going to take this. There you go. Now he's starting to push into Hall. Shazam, though, shutting out Little Man. Sick. Okay, Sick confuses himself a little bit there. I think Fugly literally got on top of him. But trades continue to roll in. This time, though, it's favored for NRG. And now Almanac moving in. If that bomb was a little bit further on the platform, he could have dropped it and basically won the round off of that. But now he's going to have to creep back in. He can actually still try to stop the plant, but it also is playing in a safe position. Oh, Almanac having so many close shaves here, too. But when push comes to shove, and he's given an opportunity to hit the shot that he actually takes. It is going to be a miss. The nade goes back. He does dive down below. He's trying to move quickly upon this one. He's got himself a kit, so that little bit of extra time to play with, but Breeze wins out at the end of it, and NRG end up in a scrap for the B bomb site, but they do win it out.
Yeah, I mean, they have 4 players towards B. That should be a hold for Misfits all day. Sick not able to do anything at his spot, though. They jump around him. He's not aware enough to really realize what's going on. So they end up winning with 2 alive. They maintain that off on PTR. They get a better buy round than they had previously because there's a lot more utility. But still a double op setup onto Misfits. And a long way to go for NRG, really. Going to be quite a few gun rounds here that Misfits is going to have an opportunity to, you know, close this out.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before NRG can really feel secure about their position. As now they're just holding inside of the B halls again. Same default setup that we've seen many, many times so far before. And Little Man playing into it now. He is going to try to lurk back up these steps and try to go for a push, but will succeed in it.
Entering with an ump.
Yeah, taking down Tevo Duvek in the process.
One-on-one battle with an ump. It's a good gun.
It'd be great if someone actually collected the stats of like umps versus rifles for like pro level games and see like
they did.
Did they?
For like one tournament, and it was like 50% of the kills or something were ump kills. It was like absurd.
It's crazy.
Something recently.
Nice kill from Daps actually as he swings out. Kind of destroys Sean. Same thing for Sick, so it's looking like it's going to be... I don't even think Shazam and Omnic are going to do anything about this. So they're going to fall back and save.
Yeah, I can't remember what... It might have been the Major, actually. Something like that.
Well, the Major was when like the trend really like came into the public view.
Yeah.
Because that was when it got like really popular all of a sudden.
But it was like a staggering amount.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I disagree with, you know, not buying aggressively, is because if you just save your guns on CT side and you get like umps to back them up, like this round they should buy next round, like 100%, because they save 2 ops. And if you make it 4v5 and you know how to position yourself with an ump, it's almost for sure going to be a one,
especially on
at least
map.
The first kill. Yeah.
This map, there's so many places where you can use either an ump or even like a Mag 7 purchase.
Okay, drop. Close B up broken wall. Ton of spots.
So money is definitely going to be a little bit low when you look at like Sean and
like,
Sick.
Sick should not be. Yeah, I don't know why you would have a P250 when you can have an ump. Doesn't make any sense.
Tevo Duvek just ends up buying for himself. He had like 4,100 or something around that mark. So he just upgrades for himself, but the rest of them just end up going for pistol upgrades with armor sitting behind it. And enough kits and whatnot here, along with actually pretty decent utility, so another chance to try and push on to 15. But they are stretching the economy now. And in breaking it, that could open up an opportunity for NRG to try and swing their comeback and possibly even take this 2-0. That is an opening that they could use. But for now, NRG just swinging into the mid-connector here and trying to push themselves up onto the A site. Devo waiting right outside of the doorway itself. They may check for this one, however, and indeed, both of them do. 2 instant kills for NRG. Daps and Breeze both hitting their marks. And now the rotates have to be swift as both ops again are left as the last 2 standing here. Omnic hitting a good first shot, but he's completely surrounded by T's. And as far as Shazam is concerned, he's way back down on the B-bomb site. Probably doesn't want any part of this, to be completely honest. Posts up, gets himself 1 more kill as he uncrouches, but now dead on the ground. Shazam definitely can't do much else about this. Still way over on the B-bomb site. He'll be saving again.
I feel like that was a... I don't think that's a good way to take middle, though. Like, Breeze just crouching out like that. I know he got the kill, but, like, in an like on LAN, I'm telling you that kill does not happen. Crouching out like that into somebody posted like that is going to be death, like, every time. But it works out for him. I was just very surprised. I thought Tevo Duvek... On LAN, like, he probably multi-frags there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because how easy that first kill would probably be.
So this time, however, it goes into the favor of NRG, and off of that, they continue to springboard their comeback. Now into double digits for themselves, and Misfits, excuse me, should have to save going into the 10th here. Even with the op sitting behind their buy. So we'll take a look at that again as he does creep back out. It's a little bit dirty, but he does get the job done.
I mean, gritty. It ain't pretty, but it sure is gritty.
So Misfits taking a pause here now to strategize a bit, since Let's actually see if we can take a look at what the exact money is looking like for them. I know it's definitely not anything good. Yeah, everybody's still floating for the most part around 2K here. Although Almanac up at 4.2, Shazam at 3.9 with the ability probably to drop a rifle. So that could be 3 players with guns and 2 more with upgraded pistol buys. If they really want to try to force it again, they can.
Yeah, I think this is a save. Go back and get a double up, set up the following round on Almanac and Shazam, and go for it again. That's what I would do.
Meanwhile, NRG has built up quite a large stack of cash in these few rounds here. A few players obviously that ended up going down earlier on, struggling a tad, but others running up somewhere between like 4 and 6K now, so they are building themselves up. It's not going to be so easy to just close out in the round afterwards anymore. Stats overall across the board, still looking at Shazam doing quite well at over 100 ADR. Almanac a little bit further behind at 99. And Sick as well, kind of going a little bit more quiet since we saw the second half kick off, but his performance from the first half is still carried through in a strong suit. Whereas for NRG, really nobody shining too much at this point. It is more of a team effort in what we've seen in these past few rounds, but there isn't some superstar that's kind of brought them back from the brink. Doesn't seem to have been much more possibly mistakes from the Misfits side that have allowed this possible comeback situation. Listen, it's all the very aggressive economy that they're now going to go for. It needs to allow NRG to have slightly easier situations to work with than you would normally expect here. So still waiting for the unpause, but hey, it just came in now. So we are going to be going live with it. And it is looking like at the moment no purchases at all for the Misfits, and those that have, it's been pretty lightly bought into it. Just Deagles, P250s with no additional buy-ups behind it. Almanac not going for anything at all. Oh, it changes that now as he actually goes for a CZ armor buy. He had a bit more money than the others though, at around 4K, so he can afford that.
Yeah, I think this is fine. If you're going to be able to buy the next round, I think they'll still be able to get a double up. Maybe just one.
NRG not wasting any time with pushing forward, specifically Little Man Peter. Nice shot, actually. This should have been through the smoke still, but
Sick is making so many mistakes.
And now it's Sean sitting back down below, hiding in the corner here, trying to pick up at least 1 kill, but he can't get it done. The other 3 were over on A, so the round's already over.
Just help Shazam save the op. That's your only goal here. Help him save the op. While saving the op, you'll probably get a couple guns.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be setting up to support that. One player mainly acting as a distraction. That'll be Almanac waiting over there on the site connector. The others from NRG, though, they are moving out to hunt. They know that this op is still alive somewhere on the map. So they're moving all through T-spawn, all out through mid to try and investigate and make sure they can try to find it and get it down on the ground before it goes into the next round. And hopefully try to prevent them from getting a double op setup if they can. By all means here. Almanac as well can definitely hear the pressure coming back out from the balcony. As he goes over here into crawl space, actually could pick up quite a few kills for himself. Going for this first one here, gets it. It's a little bit messy, however. And Daps does find the kill on the Devil, which means in a moment, Shazam is going to be challenged more than likely. He was pretty close to his teammate, but hiding up on the top here. Flashbang goes in, he can run away. There's nobody sitting on the other side to corner it, and he hits the shot on Fugly, which should seal the deal. No one else is going to be able to chase him quickly enough.
Yeah, so Shazam, I mean, the entire goal was really to save that op. He succeeds. So another fully bought round for Misfits, but NRG just very, very close now. I mean, if they say they lose this round and they win the following round and reset them, we'd be at 12-15. It'd be like a double eco probably for Misfits, and it would just come down to like 1 gun round on or to see whether or not we're going to go to overtime. So Misfits, you know, they need to make a stand now, or else this could be... I could definitely see this going NRG's way.
Yeah, NRG pushing themselves back up to the box here now. They're going to be going for a quick deployment out onto the site here. Smoke setup is obscuring quite a bit. Misfits having to play close fights, but Shazam hits that first shot, although Peter trades one out. And now Shazam missing one even closer now. Little Man able to punish him, and Fugly wrapping back around Chicken Booth. Takes out Sick, eliminates him. That sends Devo and Almanac back to save.
Yeah, that's I believe that's SK strat that we see them do, I want to say. I mean, a lot of people have been doing that lately now, but
I mean,
where you get that one guy out and then you execute.
It's a solid strat.
Yeah, but I think SK is like the one that really started doing that. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, so NRG off of this, they're just going to be 2 rounds away from tying us up at 14 now, so they're definitely back into the game and almost going to be able to push it close to a tie here now, or we could end up in another overtime situation like we had in our earlier matchup here. So for the Misfits, really...
Think about, like, NRG, though. I never really see them do, like, anything original, you know? Like, whenever I watch Daps, like, in-game lead, it's always just, like, if you see him do a strat, it's just copied from another team, basically. And, I mean, that can be good. I think copying things is good, but I think there could be an issue with it, because if you don't fully understand what everybody's role is, why they can get that kill, what happens after this, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't really have a deep understanding of what's going on, and what their roles are when another team does it, like, obviously, you know, it's not going to be performed nearly as well, right?
Yeah.
And then there's other issues with that too. Like, if you just copy other people's strats, is that a lot of other people do the same thing.
So they're like, it.
Yeah. So like, for instance, remember when Tyloo did that smoke wall like a long time ago, and everybody was like, "Oh, that was so cool," and then all these teams copied it, and everybody's doing it in practice, and then all of a sudden you know exactly how to stop it, right? And then you do it in a match or on LAN or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, well,
it's this."
Everyone knows how. Yeah, know exactly what it is, and just know how to play against it.
This guy here, and we counter it.
Exactly.
So, at the moment, though, things seem to be working okay for NRG, at least not so far on this T side. Misfits, though, with the losing bonus stacking up to the point it's at, they're back into another bye immediately afterwards in this 12th round here. They've got the op on Shazam. Still quite a bit of utility left over as well when NRG are getting prepped to execute. So they still have, you know, using some more of it now to re-block off areas like the platform approach, but they still have a Molly sitting on sick. A couple more flashbangs to deploy. The Molly actually did just get used, I think, over towards drop. So out will go the remaining members of NRG to try and make this hit happen. And they, too, are pretty much out of utility. I think Little Man's got one more smoke. Shazam ready for this. Looks away at the wrong moment, but still able to readjust in time. Peeks out for a second. Sick finally hitting his shots again there as he picks up not 1 but 2 kills. And now it's just Daps left alive. While he does hit his mark inside of drop, he's not even allowed to push himself down inside of the room itself. He's still up on top of the waterfall portion. And Sick will move in to solidify the round, getting his 3rd kill for it and putting Misfits up to 15.
Shazam just really showing up on this map, man. 29 and 13. Great kills by him. Usually don't have an op boosted here. But he makes it work. So it's a different look than you usually see on that CT side of Cbble.
So this will take us now. NRG obviously rounding that comeback. We're looking really good up to this point, but the problem is Misfits, you know, having that huge scoreline and being able to push it right at the start. Now they're up on map point, and NRG do have to win 3 more straight to be able to take this to overtime.
Wall smoke. They're trying to do the B strat again, where Low Man gets out, but the broken wall smoke's gone. The double nade onto drop, or it's not gone, but it's, you know, obviously ineffective.
And they only have 1 more smoke remaining here, too, sitting on Peter. So
no, 2-2-2. Breeze as well.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. But yeah, Peter's going to use his, I think, to reapply that smoke just to kind of still sell this a little bit here. And Peter's even moving forward, but great Molly response to that one. And now Sick can push up to it. It's okay damage done there, but it's enough to push them back. Yeah. Doesn't
just completely stop their take. I mean, what do you do now if you're NRG? If you win this round, it's pretty lucky. It's going to be off the back of Misfits' mistakes.
So no one's even going to try to stay back behind the smoke on the broken wall push either. They all just go completely back into the halls. And I think they're going to try to drop split this now, or at least attempt to do that. As we can see, Molly's going into drop and flashbangs too, but he's still Sean waiting outside with an M4 and a cool kit that he's been waiting to use.
They're fully set up to stop this round. They're trying to do a drop split to A, but Sean should be able to get this kill. They just don't even go down drop. They're all just going to group up, all 4 towards A. They have a great setup to stop this, with a quick rotate from Sean.
Yeah, Devo already waiting behind one of the poles here, and he just saw the leg from Little Man too, so that's just going to reconfirm it for the rest of his teammates. So, yep, this is what they're doing, so everybody stay in their positions, get ready to quickly rotate off B if you need to, and Devo immediately striking is going to be traded out by Peter as he attempts to go back behind the pole, but before he went down, both Peter and Fugly got lit to 26 and 5 HP. Now Almanac can just sit here, wait, he does look away as Peter's going for it, but nobody's checking back over here at the edgeway, and there you go, 3 quick kills to end it, and it is going to be the Misfits that take control of our second map of the night and trade out the maps 1-1.
Yeah, and Misfits comes back after losing Inferno pretty badly. But that T side of Cbble, you know, just winning every single important round just gave them a huge lead. And, you know, played pretty well on Cbble there. Shazam especially.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's bring the analysts back into the conversation now and get their final thoughts on not only this last map, but tonight's games overall as well.
I mean, the splitting of maps, very important.
Very important indeed. Obviously, you don't get to necessarily see that massive jump for any of the teams on the standings, but for Misfit, it allows for them to still have a hope of actually being one of the teams that make it to Dallas. And for NRG, it's, you know, I guess a bit of a lost opportunity to kind of, again, solidify yourself as one of the teams that don't have to worry about potentially not making it. So, you know, some opportunities lost for in the case of NRG, but for Misfits, you know, they're still in it, at least with that nice end to the day.
Definitely seeming a little more comfortable as a new unit on Cbble rather than Inferno, and I do believe it's probably a little bit of exposure. It's probably a little bit of, you know, these guys trying to find their click and trying to find that mesh and really kind of come together.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And again, you know, Inferno is a fairly new map, not just for, you know, for teams that had recently had roster changes, but just in general, right? So there's still stuff to figure out for even teams that have been together for quite some time. Going into Cbble, I think you could still tell that they're fairly new in the sense that, you know, they don't necessarily play a picture-perfect CT side, but then again, nor does NRG. So, you know, with the fact that they're allowed to actually have so much space to work with and kind of get into their comfort zone on the T side, I think that allows them to see kind of, you know, what they could play up against, you know, in terms of potential.
In terms of potential, there was a lot of potential in this one. We're going to load this this replay up for you guys now. Yeah. Please explain to me what happens.
I'm having a hard time explaining it or like looking at it simply because Shaz is going for, obviously you want to, in that kind of situation, you just kind of want to slice through the smoke to get the sound cue to know that you're on him. That's easier to do than going with the pistols and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't quite pan out, and you have to consider Misfits won that half 11-4. This is one of the 4 rounds that NRG actually end up picking up. So just imagine what kind of, you know, massive half that could have been, or, you know, even bigger half could have been in favor of Misfits. And it's just kind of amusing to me that it is Shazam in that situation, given the fact that he was by far the best player on the server for that map.
The Shazam Ominek show is, I believe, the reality of what Cbble was.
Yeah, and we talked about how we didn't get to see that really, you know, op show between Peter and Shaz on Inferno, but going into Cbble, we didn't even get to see it that much really on Cbble as well, because Shazam just kind of dominated everyone.
Most certainly, minus, you know, PTR with that knife situation.
Got him in a different way, you know.
Let's recap today's matches. We come to an end of week 8. Let's kind of recap tonight. We had a nice overtime bout between CLG and Renegades. Now, in case you're not following the storylines, CLG needed to win 4-0
this week. Yeah,
so they needed to win the 2 last night. Boom, they got it. We needed to win 2 tonight.
Got the first.
They split maps. So, therefore, their situation only complicates itself, just like all of North American CSGO.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess in that sense, they're kind of lucky in the fact that neither Misfits nor NRG went 2-0 today. It kind of just keeps everyone at an even keel in many ways.
A nice balances, or checks and balances type situation.
Exactly.
Most certainly, I think now we can switch over to the standings in North America, because it's kind of integral in terms of explaining what's going on over here and why these matches matter.
Yeah, and you can see why, you know, it's so beneficial for one of the teams to actually pick up 2 wins in a row here, because it's so tight all the way down into 9th place. We've got people, you know, 11 wins. We've gotten 1 less team in the 11-win group, with Renegades picking up 1 map today, but you can see there's a pretty significant gap from Misfits at the 10th spot down to Complexity, but up until all the way, you know, up to 6th spot, it's not a whole lot separating these teams at all.
No, absolutely. And some of these teams, any given day, they could beat each other.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest part about this time of year. Some of these teams are reaching that final form. Some are trying a brand new form altogether.
Yeah.
It's really how they want to look at it. Let's switch over to EU now and take a look at what's going over on the European side of things.
Yeah, and EU, you know, even more so, honestly, than what we see in NA in terms of just keeping things close. In NA, you have, you know, a couple of top dogs in Cloud9, Immortals, and SK kind of sitting at the very top. Here, it's just, you know, evenly shared, I guess you could put it that way. North Astralis, Navi, Mousesports, G2, and FaZe currently sitting with the Dallas tickets as of right now. But again, it's just a couple of just a matter of a couple of games. Like yesterday, we saw LDLC beat Navi 2-0. Right. That's how crazy it is right now. Navi's at the top of the leaderboard as of right now, LDLC towards the bottom, but it doesn't really seem to matter.
Well, we're even seeing SK split maps these days.
Yeah, well, a lot actually recently.
And it's funny you say that these teams have a ticket to Dallas, some of them.
Some of them, not all.
Sure, but let's talk about those tickets to Dallas. ProLeague.com/Dallas. Go out there, and this is a real opportunity for you to go to an event. Meet your favorite players, meet your favorite teams, cheer them on, bring your friends, introduce them to esports. Maybe they think we're just still stuck in the basement in some regards, but little do they know, in Dallas, they're going to get a good show.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, just from our own experience, going to events is super fun. Regardless if you're working them or just spectating, it's always a blast. So if you have the opportunity to go to Dallas, definitely do so.
Well, I think more along the lines here is that it's not over for these teams going into this.
Absolutely not.
There's a ton of Counter-Strike to still be played, and by a ton, I mean a ton of weighted matches that have some clout to them that are important. Like, let's kind of tease next week a little bit.
Yeah, next week's going to be crazy.
Liquid Cloud9. I'm just going to read some of the matches we have up here. Liquid Cloud9, Cloud9 Luminosity. That could be an interesting one.
Oh yeah.
Immortals Liquid, and then even NRG SK with the current SK that's splitting maps. It could happen.
And I mean, NRG playing pretty well. You know, we see that, you know, obviously Cobble's still not their playground in that sense, but everywhere else doing really well for themselves. I think there's a ton of matchups to really look forward to going into next week.
Well, if for whatever reason you can't watch any of those, you can always catch it up on our YouTube at youtube.com/ESLCS. I don't know why that's funny, but it's kind of funny.
I mean, you'll figure out why it's funny if you hit the subscribe button.
If you hit the subscribe button, yes, it unlocks the next portal into the next dimension, which you can only find, again, on youtube.com/ESLCS. And I think that does it for us here. This has been a fantastic DeBears Day. April 20th has treated us well. It's treated the Pro League well. Some teams more so than others. But most certainly, I've enjoyed all of you this week, and we look forward to seeing you guys back next week here at the ESL Pro League North America.